Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Today, we're going to focus on listening and reading comprehension and how Speakable can help you set up comprehension activities. So welcome. While everybody joins, remember that this is going to be a live webinar. So if you have any comments, any questions, let us know in the comment section here. We are streaming on Twitter, StreamYard, and YouTube, and wherever you write the comment, it will be all synced up to StreamYard. So yes, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so to start, I guess, for a proper introduction, Speakable is a software that will allow teachers to provide students with a place to practice, a place to produce new language, a place to be exposed to new vocabulary, new structures, new grammar, and at the same time provide solutions for auto grading, so that you can save time and you can also create quality activities for your students. So yes, this is what we're going to talk about today, and yes, it's already 4:33, so let me start. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. We're going to create activities today. I need to reorganize my pages. 1 second. Why can't I do this now? Okay. I can't. Why do I have a separate one? Wait, give me 1 second. Okay, then I'm going to do the opposite. Okay, I don't know why I can't do this now. Okay, I'll just open a new one here. Okay, here, this is it. This is better. All right, technical hurdle solved. All right, now I can share my screen. Do I have this one here? Yes, the home button. So it is this. Okay, so I'm going to be going back and forth between StreamYard and the Unspeakable. So if you have any questions and you write them in the comment section, I might not see them immediately because I'm going back and forth, but I will do my best to be on top of the questions as well. Okay, cool. So for creating a listening and reading comprehension activity, the first thing we need to do is, of course, create an activity. So let's go here, create one. You can create it with AI, create bulk repeat cards, or you can start from scratch. This is what we're going to do today. So we're going to start from scratch so that I can show you like what each function would do. But of course, everything that I'm doing here, I can let the AI do for me. And we're going to cover a little bit about that towards the end. So for example, you can click on the content one. Okay, so this is the cover. So I forgot to give this a title. So this is going to be reading and listening comprehension, right? You can give it a subtitle if you want and a cover. And I'm going to piggies. I'm going to add a picture. This is going to be relevant later, but I just wanted a cute picture of a piggy. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to start creating, but first a little description of what these options are. These 6 options. So these are 4 content options and 2 let's say AI assistant functions. So the 2 assistant functions are going to allow you to create many cards at once, or to give the keys to the activity to Speakable, so that Chatty, our mascot, can do the activity for you. The other content options are media page, which we're going to focus on today a little bit, where you will be able to add video, text, text to speech, podcasts, images, but with no question attached. Multiple choice, repeat, and respond are what we call student actions, and those are the activities that your students will be able to solve. So quickly, just for multiple choice, this is going to be what it says in the tin, right? So what is the main idea of the paragraph, right? For example, and you can add the paragraph here, and you can add the text block, and you can, this could be the entire paragraph, right? And what's the main idea? And then you add the options. Of course, there is no main AI, let's say, of dealing with these answers. You simply select the one that is correct, and that's it. Your students, when they read the paragraph and then they solve the question, then they will be able to pick the correct answer. Oh, this was incorrect, this was correct, right? So for the relevance of a multiple choice question in comprehension questions is pretty evident, right? You can attach the media directly to the question, or just ask the general question here, and that's it. So the repeat cards are not going to be relevant for today's webinar, because the repeat cards are only there for repeating stuff. So this is not for general comprehension. If you are curious, then I can just write something like 3 little piggies. I can play it.
3 little piggies.
And I can test it myself. 3 little piggies. Right? But of course, this is just for repeating. So there isn't, let's say, much that we can do here. So let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the bulk of this webinar, the respond card. So if you are new to Speakable, then respond cards are, I'm going to say, the core of Speakable. And this is where you will ask an open question. It could be whatever, like, how are you, right? And the students will be able to respond. You can decide if you do want to do it speaking or writing, and in this case, I'm going to leave it an oral exercise, and you can adjust how long the students will need. You can from 10 seconds to 3 minutes, and the default is 30 seconds, and that's going to be plenty for what I'm going to do. So I can simply go ahead and respond, right? So I'm okay. What about you? And I'm going to save my answer. And then Speakable is going to provide the students with detailed feedback on what went well, what could have been improved, and proposals to solve this. So take a look at this. Your response is clear and concise, and it directly answers the teacher's prompt about how you are. It's great that you also ask a follow-up question. Just remember that while minor grammar errors are okay, making sure your sentence flow well can improve clarity even more. Keep it up. A correction here, like instead of what about you, like how about you would be better. There you go. Quick correction. And I can also click on the suggest response, and I will get a perfected version of my answer. So that's like the response card in a nutshell. Of course, the more complex your prompt, the more complex the student's answer is expected to be, right? So okay, so how does it fit into the context of general comprehension, or listening and reading comprehension? So there are several approaches you can have here. I'm going to show you all of them. The first one is going to be the simplest, which is, okay, what if what you're trying to evaluate in your students, comprehension, or what you're trying to assess is the understanding of something that is very popular, right? Something that is generally known. Like, for example, the Three Little Piggies, right? So I can ask my students, what is the moral of the story of the Three Little Pigs, right? So I can ask this question, and of course, one needs a level of comprehension to understand what the story of the Three Little Pigs is, right? So but because the story of the Three Little Pigs is so ubiquitous, right? It's everywhere. Then you don't need to do anything else. Like, that's it. What is the moral of the story of the Three Little Pigs? And your students will be able to, and Speakable will be able to grade your students immediately. Let's test it out. The moral of the story of the Three Little Pigs is that hard work is important. The two pigs that were lazy and didn't want to put in the hours and work were forced to leave their houses when faced by the wolf. But the last piggy, who spent a long time building his house in a very sturdy way, was the one that was able to ward off the wolf and end up helping his other fellow piggies. Okay, so this is my answer. Let's see if this is going to be acceptable. I think I made some mistakes here and there, which are going to be corrected. But again, if your idea is to focus on general comprehension, it worked, right? Good job. Your teacher clearly, your response clearly articulates the moral of the story and addresses the teacher's prompt effectively. You have explained the consequences faced by the pigs that did not work hard, which supports your point about the importance of hard work. Additionally, your grammar is mostly correct and does not detract from the overall meaning. Good job. Okay, so this clearly knows what the story of the Three Little Pigs is. I can show you what it would do if I completely say something, completely wrong. So this is my answer. This is what we call the grammar insights. So here is what where the AI will find, this was particularly good. This was in need of improvement. So hard work is important. It concisely captures the moral of the story. So there you go. Positive feedback. And Piggy, okay, I was too informal, right? The same thing here. Implies other, yes, his other fellow pigs. It was redundant, so there you go. I didn't pick this up, but it was picked up by the AI. So let me try again, and let me show you what happens if I say something that's utterly wrong, right? So I'm going to try another go at the story of the Three Little Pigs. I don't know what to say, so the moral of the story of the Three Little Pigs is that friendship is the most valuable thing, because the wolf was not their friend. The wolf was not able to enter the piglet's house, but because the other pigs were friends, he was able to do so. All right, so I am talking about the pigs, so clearly there is like if a student is trying to get away with this, they kind of might, because of course I'm talking about something that's relevant, but it's not the moral of the story. So even if you're asking something specific, like how many pigs were there in the story, all the way to like something simple like that, but specific, or something more general, something more between the lines, like what's the moral of the story, it will know, right? And as you can see, your response provides a perspective from the story, but it does not accurately convey the common moral associated with the Three Little Pigs. The story typically emphasizes the importance of hard work and preparation. Try to focus on the key lessons taught and in the tale, and consider what the pigs' actions say about building a strong foundation in life. Oh my God, cool! And there you go. Like, it corrects my my answer with the right right information, right? So, but this is what happens when the something that you would like to test your students on is out there in the world, right? Like, it is available for everybody knows about those Three Little Pigs. So you don't have to tell Speakable what the story is about for it to know how to evaluate the students. It knows, right? But what if you're doing something that's a lot more specific, right? Something that maybe you didn't it's not necessarily out there in the world, but you want your students to read it. So I'm going to create another response card, and you can use the media section, right? So in the media section, you can add a text block, podcast, video, or image. Let me add a video in this case. And I'm going to look for, I don't know, summary of what book? The Metamorphosis, Kafka, right? So say you are teaching literature, right? And this is an animated summary. I'm going to use this. Okay, cool. So I haven't watched this video, so I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we can try anyway. So what is the main idea of this video, right? So you can ask a question about the video, but how will you connect these two? Well, do you see this thing that says AI context? Click on it and then on generate, and you'll be able to merge the video with the prompt. So now Speakable will know what you're talking about, right? I am sure I could have done this without the video part because the Metamorphosis is such a popular book that everyone knows about it and Speakable will know about it. Let's see if it picked it up. So AI context attached, yes. The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka tells the story of Gregor Samsa, a traveling salesman who inexplicably transforms into an insect. Upon waking up late for work, he discovers it's blah, blah, blah. So you can see that now Speakable understands what this is about. And the student, I mean, the students, if you want them to watch the video and then answer this question, you can. You can ask a question like this, like it's super general. Or for example, you can ask, what is the name of the main character in this video, right? And you can ask something specific like that, or much more like detailed information, like, oh, how many times did he go to the bank or whatever, if that's relevant to the story, right? So you can ask all these questions that are related to the video, and again, Speakable will know because Speakable has the transcript of the video. Now, notice that I said transcript. An important thing to note here is that you should always try this first, like upload the video, click on generate context, and always test it. If it looks like this, it works. It works fine. Let me see if I find a situation where it wouldn't. It has happened with, yeah, let me try this. I'm going to try with a song by Shakira. So hips don't lie. Okay, cool. And I'm going to say any question about this. So who sings in this video? Anyway, but I'm going to attach a context because this is the part that I wanted to focus on. Sometimes it will not work. The reason why I chose a song is because sometimes the record label will interfere with the ability to generate a transcript. And let's see if it worked. Oh, it did work. Never mind. Sometimes when you see this, instead of seeing the video title, Hips and Live feature Shakira and Wyclef Jean. Okay, anyway, you will be able to see sometimes that it says, warning, no context detected. If that's the case, then you cannot use that video, but you can try again. Like I think, or I thought I had failed once with this video, but it was probably a different Shakira video because I'm not sure if this is, anyway, I'm not sure why I was able to do it now, but now I can use it. So that's good. That's good news. But I mean, just the quick thing is try it first, because if it doesn't work, it's because the video doesn't have a transcript or has the ability for a transcript generation blocked for copyright reasons, for example. But anyway, let's go back to this video. And let me show you what happens if my grammar is perfect, but I didn't really watch the video. Like if you want to catch your students in the position of, okay, they say that they watched it but they haven't, then you like, it will know. Like this video is about the Metamorphosis, which is about a cute little bug who travels around the world looking for adventure. Okay, so even though I'm talking about the Metamorphosis, I am coming up with my own creative response. So, and even if my grammar is perfect, this is not really what the video is about. So you'll see that even though the answer is great, it will not be a passing score, right? I have the orange screen, which means that I did not succeed in this, right? And it tells me why. Your response provides a general idea about the video, but it does not direct the answer to the teacher's prompt regarding the name of the main character. Make sure to focus on given specific. So there you go. It is completely It's completely wrong. And take a look at this. It even found something to praise me for. So the sentence shows creativity, even though it's not accurate for this context. So there you go. It found something to praise. But um, again, so far, like this has been like a true or false thing, like pass or fail, right? What if you want more, like a more specific focus? For example, let's say you want your students to say the correct things, but what if their grammar throws in the the failing score? So let me show you what happens then. So what if what I'm saying is perfectly all right, but there are so many mistakes? Let's try it out. This story is about the main character, who is Gregor Samsa. He find himself in the body of a insect, and he struggle in his life to understand this fact. Okay, so I tried to throw in some mistakes here and there to see if this is, let's say, enough for the system to pass. And depending on how complex your prompt is, it might, because in the end, I did answer the main character, who the main character is. So as you can see, that's the case. But okay, I have lots of mistakes. So okay, how do I define the balance of what is an acceptable answer and what isn't an acceptable answer? There are a couple of ways you can do it. The first one is to tweak the auto grading section. So if you click on auto grading, you will get a like the pass fail is what is selected here. That is it is there by default, and this is available for Teacher Pro plans. And this is the definition. So the definition is the student's response is clear and concise and answers the teacher's prompt. Grammar errors are insufficient to detract from the overall meaning of the response. Okay, so if your student's answer meets this criteria, then the student's answer will be considered a passing grade. But if it doesn't, then it will be considered a fail, right? Okay, but you can define it, you can tweak it. For example, what if, again, I want my students to focus on comprehension, but I don't care if they make grammar mistakes, this is not their first language or whatever, I can simply remove this part about grammar, right? And now the only thing that matters is that the student's response is clear and concise and answer the teacher's prompt. If you want to be more forgiving about grammar, but you want the grammar to be there, you can define it. So grammar isn't a priority. So even if there are grammar mistakes, correct them, but don't detract from the answer, or something like that, right? Like you can define what the passing criteria looks like, right? And again, I can completely remove this and change it for something else. If whatever you want, like that, to the AI to evaluate, this is where you will add it, right? So if you want to tweak this, and let's say again, let's just be forgiving in grammar or be super strict in grammar or whatever, you can define it here. But again, this is a 1 or a 0. This is a pass or a fail. Independent of how you tweak it, it's still going to turn into a 1 or a 0. But what if I want to have like a gray scale, instead of black or white, a gray scale of understanding of but in this case, the metamorphosis. I can change this from pass fail to rubric based. So rubrics are going to be available for our organization plan. So if you're curious on trying this, let us know so we can run a pilot with your school. This is super in the card. So if you want to try it out first, we can do it at a school level. Okay, yeah. So we have the rubrics here. In order to edit them or to understand what this one is, let's click on it. And this is the Speakable standard word language rubric. It evaluates these three criteria: grammar, relevance, and completeness, with a maximum of 2 points for each, and for a grand total of 6 points. But again, you can define them, right? So let's take a look at the definition for, say, relevance, which is very important for comprehension questions. So Beginner does not address the question, is completely irrelevant. Intermediate partially addresses the question, but may include irrelevant details or miss key points. Advanced directly addresses the question as covering all aspects with no irrelevant details, right? So I can add another level, master, and I can define it like the student is able to also get hidden messages in the answer, or in the story, right? If you are working on a comprehension question, then you can define it. You can add levels, remove criteria, add criteria entirely. And now look at it. With my addition, now there's a total of 7 points possible, right? But again, this is the standard world language rubric, so it's still grammar, completeness, relevance. They are still like a big focus. But what if we create a rubric for this? So there are several ways to approach this. You can check the rubric library to see what there is. For example, you can use AP exam sections, WIDA, if you want to use the scale for comprehension as well. If you want to create your own, you can create, like, for example, this is one about clarity and fluency in presentations. This is one about reflexive verbs in Spanish. Song, like the students needed to create songs. But again, if you want to focus on comprehension, you can create a new rubric. So I'm going to tell the AI what I want. So I need a rubric to evaluate my students' comprehension based on complex audio visual media. Include criteria such as general comprehension for detail, and grammar. Okay, so I defined this, and it's going to create the rubric for me. Now you can still tweak it, like just like we did with the standard one. You can take that rubric and push and pull, whatever you need, extend the amount of level, increase the amount of levels, extend the specificity of those levels, create new criteria. In this case, I specified 3 criteria, so let's see, and it's 3 indeed: general comprehension for detail, and grammar. So it took exactly what I said and made it a rubric. Again, I can still tweak it, but if I am happy with it, I'm just going to go ahead and apply to this card, right? And now I'm going to change the prompt so that it is a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to also extend the response time. And remember, you can do this in writing too, right? But I'm going to change the prompt. So it's going to be, what is the metamorphosis about, right? So now the students are required to add like a more nuanced opinion. If you want to increase the difficulty, you can also add, what is the hidden message of this story? Or what is let's say story, hidden message. Right. So let me attempt this. I haven't read this book in a long time, so let's see. This is about the story of Gregor Samsa, who one day wakes up to find that he has been transformed into a horrible insect. After he overcomes the shock, the rest of the book focuses on how he attempts to fit into society. For example, how he's going to work, how he's going to have interpersonal relationships. For example, his sister is the only one that really likes him or helps him in any way. So in some ways, this story is a symbol of how some people can't fit in, or how sometimes the society itself is the bug that makes unique individuals feel like they don't fit in. Okay. The okay was picked up. I didn't click in time. Okay, so let's see what my answer is. Like, this is a much more complex topic. You can go as easy or as complex as you want. And let's see if my response was good enough for this prompt and specific enough for the rubric that we established for this question. So Of course, for longer answers, it's going to take a little longer for it to be processed, but let's take a look. So general comprehension, the student demonstrates a general understanding of the main ideas of the metamorphosis, including Gregor's transformation and his struggle to fit into society. However, the response misses key concepts such as the complete isolation and eventual death of Gregor and the selfishness of his family. To be honest, I don't even remember the death of Gregor. Comprehension for detail. The student identifies some correct details, such as Gregor's transformation and his sister's support. However, key details like Gregor's death and the family's reaction are not mentioned. Okay, grammar. The student's grammar is mostly accurate, but there are some minor errors that an awkward phrasing, this is true, that slightly impede understanding. Overall, the message is conveyed clearly. Okay, so I can see I was given points for this, and this is like the general feedback. My long answer with specific corrections in the grammar insights, and again the suggested response, which is my response, but just improved, more sophisticated, right? Now, as a teacher, you still have the possibility for editing this, right? So this is what the students will receive. But once your students have received it, you can go back into the scores, and you can change this. So, for example, what if you feel, okay, no, this student got most of it, so I think a 3 out of 6 was too strict. You can change it to a 5 out of 6 if you prefer, if you want to, let's say, forgive the grammar mistakes as well, right? So that's something you could do. But there's one, I'm going to show you how to do that later, of course. But there's one more thing that is important to note, right? Remember, you can use any kind of media here. But what if the answer of this question is just right there, and the students you will not be relying on the students' real comprehension of that media, but if they're going to simply play the video again and scroll until they find the answer. So you can do the following thing. So remember, I was going to mention media page. Okay, this is where it fits in. So I'm going to add a different video. I'm going to add a video here, and it's going to be about something different. Squirrels. I don't know why I'm thinking about squirrels. And I'm not going to use this one because I have used it before. You know what? I am going to use this one. So I added the video into a media page, so I can instruct my students to watch this video here, and then be quizzed about it elsewhere. What do I mean by this? So, okay, I have the video in my media page, and I'm going to create another card with a response. And I'm going to ask, okay, what is the main activity? Oh, I can't type. Activity that squirrels do for fun according to the video. Okay, but the video is in a different place. So can this work? And the answer is click on AI context, attach other context, and it will look for all the media in the entire activity. So I'm going to click on the media page, right? The one that contains the video about the squirrels, and I'm going to attach the context. It works in the same way. It's just that the video will not be there in full view of the student. Why is this important? Again, because if you have the video right there in the question, the student will be able to simply, go back and watch the video while they're answering. But that's not good for listening and reading comprehension, right? So now it is. Look, if I click on the preview, this is what the students will see. The main activity of the squirrels do for fun according to the video. Well, they must have seen the video first in order to answer this question, right? Let's see if it worked. Yes, in the National Geographic video, squirrels just want to have fun. A Harris antelope squirrel safeguards her playful young from a looking long-nosed snake in the Saguaro National Park. Okay. I haven't watched the video, so I don't know what it's about, to be honest. So I would fail miserably in this question. But anyway, this is, I guess, more than the content, is more about the form factor. So if you want to quiz your students on specific media, but you don't want the media to be there, right there, to spoil that answer for them, just put it somewhere else, and like in a media page, and then ask the question, attach the media, and that will be like the ultimate, the perfect listening comprehension activity. Now, there are a couple of things that you can tweak in the students' feedback that we haven't mentioned that can, that can give the students, let's say, another edge. Again, what if I don't want my students to have pass fail or the rubrics? I can change it to rubrics. In this case, I'm not going to do it. But I can also change this to audio. So instead of being just a text like with a question, I can have the audio be the the part of the prompt, and it's like everything will be included in one. And also I have some sub items here in the feedback menu that might be worth checking. For example, what if you are not a language teacher and you don't really care if your students are making mistakes, grammar mistakes? Then you can turn grammar insights off, and that will remove that part where the mistakes are highlighted in orange, so that only the feedback matters. However, this is something that I in general recommend turning on. However, the suggested response is if you are doing a test, for example. So if you're doing a test and say you're teaching history, right? And you want to check your students' comprehension of a specific textbook, you could ask a specific question like, in what year was America discovered, right? And of course, hope that the students say America was discovered in 1492. But remember that when the students are done, they will have the suggested response right there, right? So if you are teaching history, but you don't want Speakable to spoil the answer for them, then turn this off, right? So let me show you what it does when I have this turned on. But let me create another activity for this, another question. So when in what year was America discovered, right? And is this on? Yes, so just the response is on. I'm going to show what happens. America was discovered in 2004. Okay, clearly very wrong, but the grammar was fine. So let's see what it does. Okay, so yeah, it's not the accurate year, as you can see. And it highlights this as a mistake, and it gives me the spoiler of the right answers, right? So 1492. If I click on the suggest response, the same thing is going to happen, right? It gives me the answer. So this is okay if you want your students to practice, and if you want simply your students to focus on grammar or whatever. But again, if you're not a language teacher and you want this information to be real and fact, and you want to check for real comprehension, then I recommend that you turn these two features off, right? Because those features will provide the student with the answer, right? So there's that. Now, okay, like in terms of form factor, we have explored the different ways we can do a comprehension activity. But and I showed you that we can use it for general, I guess, knowledge that everybody knows, like the Three Little Pigs or a famous book. We have also done it with a specific video, like in this case, the squirrels. But you can also do it with completely original content. Let me show you how to do this. So for this, I'm going to enlist the help of Chatty. Chatty is our assistant. It's our mascot and our the one that will be helping us create activities. So normally the use that we let's say advertise for Chatty is that Chatty can create an activity for you. For example, Chatty, I need, or hi Chatty, and where are my manners? Hi Chatty, I need 5 response cards about whatever, passive voice in English. Something like this. You can ask a very generic prompt. If you do, kind of like mine, Chatty will then ask some follow-up questions, like, for example, what level or what type of vocabulary or any specific verbs that you'd like to include, and create the cards for you. But there is a secondary way you can use Chatty for reading and listening comprehension activities. I'm going to show you that to you, but I'm going to first let Chatty create these for me so that I don't drown Chatty with things. Like, great. To create this activity, could you please specify what you want your students to practice? I need this. Okay, so the students should be able to answer with sentences such as the car was driven by the driver, right? So I'm just going to give it like an example of what I want, and Speakable will do it for me, right? Chatty will do it for me. But there are other ways you can approach this AI assistant if your intention is listening, reading comprehension. So as you can see, this is what Speakable did for me. I'm going to click with images. I'm going to add them all. Again, this is not for comprehension, but this is just to show you what it can do. So the chef cooked the meal, changed the passive voice. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. So I want my students to say the same thing, but in passive voice, and Chatty did it for me. So the teacher, correct. The secretary, cool. Good pictures. Also, the engineer. Okay, maybe I would change this one for an engineer that has more to do with a bridge. But anyway, going back to listening comprehension, I'm going to tell Chatty this. Chatty, please create a couple of paragraphs about impressionist art. Yes. And Chatty will be able to create content for me, right? So, okay, the content has been created immediately, and I'm going to tell now create 5 questions to test my students for reading comprehension about that text you wrote. Yes. So now Chatty created the content, and Chatty can create the questions for that content. So here are 5 questions to test your students. Perfect. Make them into respond cards. Yes. So these are the questions that it proposed. Perfect. Now make them into respond cards. In the meantime, I'm going to copy the text. Oops, too long. I'm going to copy the text. Copy. And it's going to add the to add all of the questions. Okay, cool. That's what I wanted exactly. However, before this question about the impressionist art, I'm going to add a media page with the text, right? So we have the text here, and the following questions are going to be about that text. So once again, you can simply ask a general comprehension question about whatever is out in the web. You can add it directly to your activity, or you can ask the AI to generate the content for you and create activities based on that content if you prefer. If you don't want to use the Chatty created text, but you have a text that you can use, you can also add it here. And I mean, not use the AI generated one, but the text that you have. If you also have, say, a document, right, with your lesson plan, you can upload this to Chatty directly, right? So you can upload the file to Chatty, and Chatty will be able to create a lesson based on this. If it's general comprehension or language or something else, it's up to you. But anyway, just Chatty can help you create listening and reading comprehension activities as well. So anyway, we have lots of different ways. As a quick summary, multiple choice, of course, very important. Response cards, again, I think probably the most important one here, with auto grading in pass-fail or rubrics, depending on how detailed you want this to be. If you want to add media straight to the activity, you can, and ask questions about it. Just make sure that AI context is generated. If you don't want your students to be spoiled with the answer, add the media to a different media page and the questions in a different one. Or just like this, have Chatty create the content for you and the questions to test for that comprehension. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. Do you have any questions? Let me change layout here. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. If you have tried Speakable for this type of activity or something else, let me know. If you haven't used Speakable and if you'd like to try it, then let us know. We are running several pilots with lots of different schools to see if Speakable is the right tool for them. So if you are interested in taking part in this kind of program, let me know. in the comment section. If you are not watching this live, but you still would like to focus on to maybe use a pilot program, then this is our website, speakable.io. So feel free to let us know there. We have a chatbot there. We have several contact us options. So you can use those to let us know that if you want to have a pilot. Also, next week we're going to have a couple more webinars. We're going to have fewer webinars than we had in the previous weeks because we're going to be away for some of the day. So we're going to have webinars on Monday and on Tuesday. Monday is going to be about fluency exercise. So just like we did activities for comprehension today, we're going to focus on fluency on Monday. And also, we're going to focus on, I forgot the other one, on the AI creator. So the Chatty that we used just now, we are going to be focusing on Chatty like super in depth when on Tuesday. Same time, all of these webinars are taking place from at 4:30 p.m. Central Time. So yes, this is an invitation for all of you to take part in these webinars. The registration for these webinars is already on. If you prefer to watch this on YouTube or Twitter, then again, the same times, and everything is going to be published on LinkedIn too. So if you follow us there, you will know and you will be notified. If you don't follow us there, it's a good time to do so. And anyway, I see no questions in the comment section, so I'm going to, oh yes, one question just now. So the question is, can you please demonstrate how students can listen to an audio script, say, for example, about an uploaded article? Yes, I can show you that. So let me change the layout for this. There you go. So I'm going to add another response card, and I'm going to add the media section here. And remember, still in my clipboard, I have my text about the impressionist art. So for example, I can select text to speech, right? And I can paste the text that I had Chatty create. And we can listen to it. Is it not working? Okay, I haven't written a prompt. And you can ask questions about this. So what is the main idea of this audio track, right? In this case, it's also good to generate the AI context based on this so that Speakable knows exactly
Impressionist art, which emerged in the late 19th century.
By the way, you can change the voice if you don't like this one, and this is what it would look like to your students. So you can click on the audio, and the students will be able to hear it and then respond. Or you can upload the file yourself, right? So you can add another block here, and this block can be, for example, a document, right? So you can record an audio yourself. You can upload the audio that you have in your computer. Upload that file. I'm not sure if I have any audio files here, actually. Anyway, you can upload an audio file and ask the question here. And again, attach the context of that Speakable knows what the audio is about. And your students will be able to use that audio and not just the text, right? So the text, cool. But if I want audio, I can do it only audio. If I want to do only text, I can do only text. There are other options: text, image, text to speech, audio, video, document, an entire podcast. So it's really flexible to see if you want to focus on beginner students, then of course a quick audio will be fine. But if your students are AP level, then adding an entire podcast or video would be a good way to do it. An entire audio file here. I'm not sure if I have like an audio file in my computer to show you, but you could do it here as well. Like just have the audio and what is the main idea of this audio track, or according to the audio track, what is the population of this island or whatever. So yes, you can do this here. Just play around with the media, the media section here. You can have a combination of media as well. Like you have text to speech, the audio file, and on top of that, a video, right? So you could have several blocks here. So video, again, this is going to be about, I don't know, Napoleon, right? And I'm going to add the trailer of the movie. I don't know. You can have multiple media and ask questions about it, or just one by one audio, and then the next audio and the next question, and so on. So yes, Brandon, I'm not sure if this answers your question. It's really flexible. Like if you want to go simple, you can go simple. If you want to go complex, you can go complex. You can link an entire article here and ask and quiz your students about it. This is something you can do for sure. So yes, any other questions in here? You're welcome, Brandon. And if you're interested in this and you aren't a user yet, then again, let us know if we can maybe set something up for your school or district. This is a very common way for us to know if really this is a tool for me or not, right? And yeah, just let us know if you're interested. Again, our website is speakable.io. So if you're interested, let us know. And any other questions, I'm here. We still have 10 more minutes, so there's time. If there are no more questions, I'm going to close. Remember that all of these are going to be uploaded to YouTube. So if you missed one of the previous ones, we have several topics. Then you can go into our YouTube channel and catch up there. Or again, just wait up until we have a live webinar on the topic that you want. As I mentioned, we have fluency on Monday and the AI builder in depth on Tuesday. But in the following weeks after that, after next week, we're going to keep having more. For example, how to use Speakable for creativity. Let me see my notes. We are going to have webinars on understanding the ACTFL and WIDA level assessments. We're going to focus on how to, let's see, yeah, best practices in general, like tips and tricks. Also, how to adjust difficulty. So there are many more coming, and we'll be announcing them week by week. So feel free to register for them, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for your active participation, and yeah, just if you let us know if you'd like to try Speakable out if you haven't already. So have a good one and enjoy the rest of the weekend.